All right, so you're a budding entrepreneur on your road to fame and fortune as an IPO startup founder until an investor comes and asks you, hey, what is your COGS or cost of goods sold? Or what is your net profit margin? And then imagine staring back like a deer in the headlights, realizing that you don't know your numbers. How's it going? My name is Eric, your Abundant BFF, and as always, I'm here to help you and guide you to find a pathway to true freedom and abundance. Now, I've been an accounting and tax advisor for entrepreneurs making anywhere between $500,000 to $20 million per year over the last 10 years. And if there's anything that I've realized speaking from stage and teaching about finance all the time is a lot of folks don't really understand what a P&L is, or profit and loss. Now, a profit and loss is a common financial statement that most accountants provide to their clients, or if you do your own bookkeeping in QuickBooks or Xero or Wave or anything, is a report that you look at to determine if you're making money or not, but it's quite often more than that. And today we're gonna break down what a P&L is, what a profit and loss is, what does it all mean, and how can you utilize it to your best advantage? I still remember I had a client come in one day, and it really made me become in tune with how a lot of entrepreneurs think. Now, he came in like most folks out there at the end of the year or right before tax season was to start. And he came down and he said, Eric, I need to file my taxes for my S corporation or for my business, my startup business. I said, great, do you have your profit and loss in your balance sheet? He passes it over and I look at it and I'm like, hey, just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with what's on this profit and loss. Do you know what your net profit is and how much you might have to pay in tax? And he looks at me and he's like, I have no idea. I just got this from my accountant. So there's a lot of misconceptions about what a profit and loss statement is, what an income statement is, and what you could use it for. So let's first talk about the main terminology of a profit and loss statement. So that way you're not like the average entrepreneur that only looks at it once a year and only looks at it for tax purposes. So the first thing on a profit and loss statement, besides the name of your company, is gonna be your gross revenue. When you look at gross means everything that you collect from sales, from your transactions, your Stripe and all that. Gross means everything you collect, and just wanna make sure that you know that net is how much you actually take home after everything. And I'll break down an example for that. But your gross revenue is everything that you've collected from your sales, your, promotions that you've run and stuff like that. And often they call that top line. What is your top line revenue? Now, after that, right below that is typically what you call your cost of goods sold, or COGS. These are basically expenses that are directly related to your revenue. Things like, let's say, purchasing of inventory, purchasing of supplies that you are reselling, or labor component directly part of that revenue. Now, if you took your top line revenue and subtracted out your cost of goods sold, you'd have what they call gross profit. That's basically your profit before taking any of your expenses. So you might hear somebody say, hey, what's the gross profit of your business? They're basically asking what you've collected minus your cost of goods sold. Now from here, as all of us business owners know, we have operations expenses to basically operate our business. I have the rent for this facility I use to shoot videos in. I have employees that work for me. I have office supplies, computers, and internet service, all of that. These are where your expenses would go. And in most robust profit and loss statements or income statements, it's broken up into different categories. Some of the most common categories are accounting, bank charges, travel, meals and entertainment, utilities, rent, payroll. All of these things that are utilizing this profit and loss statement would be on this statement to categorize out the expense that you pay and put those expenses in the specific categories. Now, why would you want to categorize it as opposed to saying my total expense for you is $100,000? The reason you want it to be cleanly categorized, it will help you when you look at your P&L on a regular basis to know where you're spending your money. And as a business owner, it's just as important to know of how much revenue you're taking in, to also know how much you're paying out and to where you're paying for it. Oftentimes, I recommend small business owners to look at their profit and loss at the minimum on a monthly basis, which means you should be having a bookkeeper or an accountant handle your books on a monthly basis as well. Because when you're looking on a monthly basis, that will help you make good decisions on Number one, do I have the resources to be able to spend to invest in my business this month? Or number two, am I spending more than I normally spend in terms of office supplies or meals or in terms of travel? And normally I love doing a comparison with prior quarters or prior months to be able to see a comparison. Maybe it went up. Why did it go up? If it went down, great, we're saving money, but why did it go down? These are all important to know. So again, now you have your top line revenue minus cost of goods sold is what we call gross profit. Gross profit minus your operations expenses is now what you have as your net or net profit. Net profit basically means what is the profit you've achieved after you've accounted for cost of goods and your expenses. Now, the easiest way to look at it is, let's say you're a fisherman in the Pacific Ocean and you're going out there trying to catch fish to haul into your boat, because it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? And let's assume the ocean is your gross. It's a freaking gross ocean. Okay, it's not gross. Think of it as the ocean as the gross. Now you are, okay, I want to take home fish. I want to take fish home on my boat in my net. So you drop a net in the water, and the net scoops up the fish from the gross. All the bycatch, all of the water, all that stuff is ejected out. That's your expenses. And you pull the net onto your boat. So the gross is your big old ocean. The net's how much you actually take home. So keep that in mind. Gross versus net. So at the end of the day, if you are a successful business owner, number one, you're going to be looking at your profit and loss statement at least at the very minimum on a monthly basis. Number two, you're going to want to compare your profit and loss to a prior period to see if you have any fluctuations or changes. Number three, you're going to want to review your books on a regular basis as well and make sure that things are being categorized properly. That way you can understand where your money is being spent. Because again, it's not how much you've brought in through revenue, it's how much you actually keep. And by properly categorizing your profit and loss and properly categorizing your expenses, you can make better business decisions. You can become more profitable. And what does that mean? That's more money for you to spend. So again, those are the basics of a profit and loss or an income statement. Now there's a couple of other different things you can utilize with it, but we'll go over that in another video. I just wanted to talk about the basics of it and reinforce the importance of looking at your P&L or profit and loss on a monthly basis. Now, let's be honest, are you looking at your profit and loss on a monthly basis? Do you now know what your gross revenue is? And do you also now know what your net profit is? If you do, congratulations. You win a gold star from your buddy, your abundant BFF, Eric. If not, you got some homework to do, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. The right time to start understanding your expenses, if it wasn't a couple months ago, would be now. This is going to help you actually truly build true freedom and abundance. Knowing your numbers and removing the stress and anxiety of not knowing your finances is a huge part of becoming abundant and free. So again, my name is Eric, and as always, I'm your abundant BFF. I'm here to help you guide yourself to a pathway of both freedom and abundance. Now, I make YouTube videos here every single week, upload every single Friday, and I would love to see you here again. I really appreciate your time. I know how valuable your time is. If you are new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications. So every time I put up a new video, you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna check out Eric's new video. If you got any questions or a topic you'd like me to talk about, put them in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to make videos that fit your needs. And also, if you know anybody else that's an entrepreneur, budding entrepreneur, investor, stock trader, whatever, that wants to learn more about personal finance, send them on down. I would love to have them join our journey together. With that said, I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have an awesome day. Peace.